بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today I have another reaction video. This video is very different and it explains the verses of Qur'an that most non-Muslims and hypocrites make the reason to make Quran verses violent. So in today's video, we're going to compare the Bible verse and the Quran verse, and we'll see which one is more violent. Let's get to the video and see. A brother, an American brother, Revert, is explaining this verse because the verse has been taken out of context and thrown all over the shelf everywhere, in YouTube, everywhere, by non-Muslims. So you will have a clear understanding after you watching this video. Let's get to the video.
Peace be with you. In the Quran, there are a couple of verses that contain the line, "And kill them wherever you find them." And those who hate the Quran, who hate what God has revealed, often misrepresent these verses by posting or announcing them out of context to misrepresent the Quran as something that calls to violence and injustice. Also, people who claim to be Muslims but are predisposed to violence and injustice also misrepresent these verses to point it in the same direction. So I wanted to talk a little bit about them and explain what they actually mean. It is important to know what they mean because if you are a Muslim and you are faced with this question, you need to know how to answer it. So it is very important to understand this. In the second chapter of the Quran, Surah Baqara, verse 191, we are told, "And kill them wherever you find them, and drive them out from where they drove you out. And persecution is more severe than killing. And do not fight them at the Sacred Mosque, at the Sacred Masjid, until they fight you in it. But if they do, fight them. Then kill them. Such is the recompense for the unbelievers." So, in this, at the first glance, if you just read this, it does seem to be very violent. And if you don't try to understand this verse, if all you want is the violence, then you're not even going to understand it, nor will you read the verses surrounding it. So for some context, context is what is the issue here. Context is extremely important. So for context, we have to read the preceding and the following verses when we find verses like this. So in the preceding verse, in the Surah Baqarah, verse 190, second chapter of the Quran, we are told, "And fight in the way of God those who fight with you, and do not exceed the limits. Surely God does not love those who exceed the limits." So right off the bat, we understand that the phrase "fight with those who fight with you" means that this is an endeavor of self-defense. So when it says "and kill them wherever you find them," you are already defending yourself, and you are in a state of war. And killing people is what happens in every war. This is whoever served in the military. This is why we are trained to kill. Kill them. Kill the enemy wherever you find him. And if that enemy is an invader, if you look at right now, Ukraine, for example, the whole Western world is justifying Ukraine because they are defending themselves. Somebody else invaded their land. So nobody objects to killing the Russians wherever they find, or wherever the Ukrainians find them, right? And this goes in any war of self-defense, right? When there was a Nazi Germany, right? Kill them wherever you find them. Nobody objects to this. This is just a reality of war. Additionally, we can see that God is talking to a bunch of refugees. So not only are these people defending themselves, they already tried running away. And now they're being pursued and attacked. So God says, drive them out from where they drove you out from, right? Yeah. So these are refugees and they have the right of self-defense. And they are being persecuted for no other reason than they believe in God and they want to live a certain lifestyle. And whoever knows the history of what happened during the time of Prophet Muhammad, before the Muslims became predominant, they know that these people were persecuted for a very long time, tortured, killed, hunted, and they didn't do anything to defend themselves until much later on. And then, lastly, when we look at this verse, God says, "Do not exceed the limits. Surely God does not love those who exceed the limits." And also God says, "And do not fight them at the Sacred Mosque until they fight you in it." So don't even start fights over there, even though you're at war, unless they attack you, you can't fight them. So you are not to fight unless fought against first. And then to complete the context, the following two verses, which are verses 191 and 193, we're told, "But if they stop, then surely God is forgiving, merciful. And fight them until there is no persecution." So remember, these people are being persecuted. "And the deen, the way of life, the religion, should be only for God. But if they stop, then there should be no hostility except against the oppressors." So God tells the Muslims, kill them wherever you find them, because they have attacked you, they've chased you out from your homes. But if they stop, then you stop. And that is what these verses mean. So when you hear kill them wherever you find them, look at the context. There is another a block of verses with that same line in the Surah Nisa, in the 4th chapter of the Quran. In the 88th and the 89th verse, we are told, "What is the matter with you then, that you have become two parties about the hypocrites, while God has made them turn back for what they have earned? Do you wish to guide him who God has caused to err? And whomsoever God causes to err, you shall by no means find a way for them. They desire that you should disbelieve as they have disbelieved, so that you might be alike. Therefore do not take among them friends until they emigrate in God's way. But if they turn back, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them, and take not among them a friend or a helper." So again, people will latch onto this phrase, "But if they turn back, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them." So if we stop there, the verse appears to say to kill the apostates and the disbelievers. But if we read the next two verses, again, context is extremely important. We will see what this actually means. So in the 90th and the 91st verse, we are told, "Except," so now he's talking about those whom God just told you to kill them, seize them and kill them wherever you find them. So God says, "Except the following, except those who reach a people between you, whom them and you there is an alliance, or who come to you not wanting to fight, you or their own people." So people who get protection from somebody you have an agreement with, or those who just don't want to fight. They're like, "I don't want to fight you. I'm not on your side. I'm not on their side." So you can't seize them or kill them or do anything. And then it goes, "If God had pleased, he would have given them power over you, so that they should have certainly fought you. Therefore, if they withdraw from you and do not fight you and offer you peace, then God has not given you a way against them." So it doesn't matter what they want to do, what they want to follow, if they want to believe or disbelieve or whatever. If they do not want to fight you and offer you peace, God has not given you a way against them, so you cannot seize them and kill them. And then it says, "You will find others who desire that they should be safe from you and secure from their own people. As often as they are sent back into mischief, they get into it headlong." So they always do something wrong. "Therefore, if they do not withdraw from you and do not offer you peace and restrain their hands, and they stop attacking you, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them. And against these we have given you a clear authority." It doesn't matter who you are. Even if we take religion out of this, and you read something like this, and if people stop, this is an exalted. This isn't even what. This is more enlightened than what Western world is doing at this time. Western world will, if somebody attacks you, they will go to crush them completely. But God tells them, God tells us, if people do not offer you peace, they don't stop attacking you, then you can seize them and kill them. You can go to war with them. But if they do, then show them mercy, be kind towards them, and stop. So that's what's actually being said. Defend yourself against those who are attacking you. But if people aren't persecuting you, or they don't want to fight you or their own people, if they don't want to take sides, then you have to leave them alone. They cannot be attacked. That's what it is. Context is everything. And people in media, they misrepresent things like this all the time, seeking to demonize what God has revealed. And unfortunately, a lot of people who call themselves Muslims, out of their ignorance or whatever predisposition to injustice they have, they themselves misrepresent these verses and give those who hate the Quran, who hate what God has revealed, True. Ammunition to misrepresent it even further.
True.
So it's very important to know what the Quran says.
Yeah.
And the last verse I'm going to quote, and I forget the reference, but God says, "And God does not forgive you regarding those who have not made war against you, nor driven you out from your homes, that you should show kindness to them and deal with them justly. Surely God loves the doers of justice." God only forbids you in regards to those who have made war against you on account of religion, and driven you forth from your homes, and helped others in your expulsion, that you should make friends with them, and whoever makes friends with them, these are the unjust. We as Muslims, it is very important for us to know what the Quran says. And although this is a long video, it couldn't have been shorter, because these verses have to be mentioned together. I hope this helps you when somebody accuses you next time of following an evil book, so you can explain it to them.
Thank you.
Peace be with you.
Thank you. Peace. Yeah, the brother explained the verses of Quran that non-Muslims and most hypocrites say, oh, Quran is violence, it's teaching Muslims to do bad things, and wherever you find them. Yeah, it's in a war situation when the verse is revealed. And that's why God knows the justice. Yeah. When they were attacked and removed from their homes, destroyed everything, that's when the verse was revealed. If you can understand in that situation. I'm going to post a verse of Bible on the screen. You can read that and compare it. So brothers and sisters, thank you so much for watching. I have to end this video, and I will see you. And also I appreciate for the brother who explained really Muslims who have no knowledge of answering this question that non-Muslims always ask you, and now you know how to answer it. So brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala.